Now that we know how to find the surface area of spheres, we're going to extend that idea to really look at a lot of hemispheres. Not every one of these problems will be a hemisphere that we're dealing with, but you can think of a hemisphere as half of a sphere. Okay. There's a few other words up there that you'll want to get written down. I'm going to scoot to the next slide. There are 3 problems on here, and I want to do all 3 of them because they're all just a little bit different. So first thing is first, find the surface area of the hemisphere. Well, we said that surface area is all of the area on the outside of the shape, and I'm dealing with a hemisphere. So really we need to be a little cautious. We do know that the surface area of a regular sphere is 4 pi r squared. So that means that in order to find the surface area of the hemisphere, we need to take half of this, but at the same time, we also need to add in the area of the great circle down here. And that's the part that we always forget about. So we need to add on another pi r squared. You can simplify this, and that will get you 2 pi r squared here, plus another pi r squared. And 2 pi r squared plus another pi r squared is going to be 3 pi r squared. This is how I'm going to suggest we're going to find the area, the surface area of a hemisphere. This is not in your book. I would take a moment to write that down and say that's how you find the surface area of a hemisphere. Okay, so looking at finding now the surface area of this hemisphere, we can now use this formula that we just created, understanding that we have half of a sphere and adding on our great circle, which simplified to 3 pi r squared. So we can say that we have 3 times pi times 2.8 squared, which 2.8 represents our radius. And if we solve and simplify all of that, it's going to get us 73.9 centimeters squared. Okay, so that would be the first one. The second one wants us to find the surface area of a sphere if the circumference of the great circle is 5 pi meters. So now I want to find the surface area of an entire sphere, so I'm going to write that down first. I want 4 pi r squared, since it's an entire sphere, not a hemisphere. I need to find r, but they only give me the circumference of the great circle. So you need to think back. To find circumference, it is 2 pi r. And if I plug in 5 pi, now I have 5 pi equals 2 pi r. I'm going to divide both sides by pi. Those cancel. Then divide everything by 2. 5 divided by 2 is going to get me 2.5. That's your radius. So now you can plug it into your surface area formula. 4 pi times 2.5 squared. That will get you a surface area of 78.5 meters squared. And then last one, this one wants us to find the surface area of a sphere if the area of the great circle is approximately 130 square inches. So I still want the surface area of a sphere. Write down the formula first. But this time they give me the area of the great circle. So thinking of the formula to find area of a circle, we know it's pi r squared. Plug in your information. 130 is your area. Equals pi times radius squared. You can divide by pi and then take the square root. I'll do each step. R squared. I'll do it on my screen so you can see this. 130 divided by pi gets me that value of approximately 41.38. And then to get r, you're going to take the square root of that, and it will be approximately 6.4. Now that you know what your radius is, you can go back to your original, plug it into your surface area formula, and your calculator will give you approximately 514.7 inches squared for your surface area.